Good evening. Thank you all for coming to our Safety Committee meeting today. Present, we have Councilman King, Councilwoman Sachs, Councilman Cooney, Vice Mayor Wise, Law Director, Mr. Bryan, Mayor Brennan, Councilwoman Weiser, and Chief Perko. And we have guests from John Carroll University, Chief DeBurko, Ms. Cole, and Ms. Tremmel, and from Hasala, Mr. Roth. And I'd like to thank everyone for taking your time out to come out and attend this informational session. And I would like to start off with asking for John Carroll University to come to the, that microphone should work at the podium.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Okay.
Awesome. And so I just would like for you all to do provide an overview of your EMS system services and operations. And yeah, that's pretty much what I would like if you don't.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Happy to provide that. Thank you. As you mentioned, my name is Dr. Melissa Cole. I'm Dean for the College of Health at John Carroll University. I'm also an emergency medicine nurse practitioner by background. Coming to John Carroll, I actually started there about 3 years ago. However, the JCU EMS has been a student-led organization here at John Carroll for over 2 decades. And it has been functioning to support our campus in the event of on-campus emergencies. We dispatch our JCU EMS team as well as 911. We are a non-transporting BLS, first responder unit. So the intent is to get cardiac resuscitation to individuals that might need it quickly while waiting for a more advanced transport mechanism to come. We are, as a campus community, this is an educational based program. So these are basic EMTs. So they're all certified as EMTBs to respond. They are our students. So this is an educational opportunity as well. And it allows the structure to have our faculty and our students be involved in, medicine. We do disaster drills with University Heights Fire. We do ride-alongs with our nursing students and EMTBs as well. So we use this as an educational opportunity as part of our structure. Our mission is to teach, obviously, we are part of the National Collegiate Emergency Medicine Services Foundation, and we do go to that national conference. Case Western and some other campuses also have EMS agencies that are also student-led, so this is consistent with some other universities as well. I'll pause there. I'm not sure if there's any specific questions you might have.
Thank you. I did have a question. You said that you all, on each call, you contact 911. Is that what you said? I'm sorry.
So our students on campus can call 911 or they can call our JCU dispatch, which is 8397-1234. And so the students will call either one of those. And our dispatch agency dispatches our EMS team as well as 911 to respond.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? Ms. Weiser?
Where are your students trained for the EMT?
We partner with university hospitals. They have a community paramedicine program, and each summer we've started, we do a 12-week course. So they're trained through that, and then they have to sit for the national certification exam.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Mr. Cooney?
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. So when the call goes into for JCU, was it 397-1234? At the same time, it's going to 911 as well?
The dispatching procedures, I'll need to
Sure. Yeah. just for
ask my
clarification.
colleague,
Thank
Chief
you.
Daberco, to come up for those exact procedures.
Yeah.
Sure. So, if 911 is called and that system's activated, we have the ability to communicate with the University Heights Fire Department. They can call us on the radio. If they're responding, they usually let us know just because it's often, we can meet them, we can get there, pretty quickly. If the reverse happens, if the students call the 1234 number, we have an off-campus dispatch site. So they are instructed to call if they get a medical call. They call 911, they notify the University Heights Fire Department, and then they notify us via radio. And my sergeants are instructed to try and figure out if it's a call that, JCU EMS would profit by responding to. I mean, is it something that's really, something's on fire, it's probably better if the students stay away. We're just going to deal with the fire department. Or is this a twisted ankle at Shula Stadium? Maybe our students can get over there and start providing some aid immediately. And then the fire department gets there and, they take charge of the scene when they get there. That answers your question.
So there's a collaboration between John Carroll and the city already established.
Correct.
On the call, the
Yeah, I mean,
1-2-3-4.
it works the same like with, fire response. If a fire alarm goes off, Paladin, which is our fire service company, notifies the fire department. Then they notify us. And then again, the fire department will usually call us on the radio as they're en route saying we've got a fire alarm at Shelley Hall. Because, we can get there a little faster and to see, is the building on fire? Is this a false alarm? Is this popcorn? What is it? And that collaboration, I've been here a couple of years now, seems to work pretty well. I actually supervised JCU EMS when I first got here, and then the College of Health was founded, and it made more sense to transfer them over there. And yeah, it's a learning tool. It's been great. We appreciate Chief Perko's partnership and letting us do things like emergency drills and ride-alongs for the students. It helps prepare them for a career.
Okay, so there are other activities that you're working with the city, with the fire department, in regards to become familiar with each other,
Yeah.
best practices, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like, the two that again come to mind are we do an emergency drill every spring semester. We did one last spring semester when we used the simulation lab at the College of Health. I forget what we simulated, something bad. Campus disaster, yeah, an explosion of some kind. But yeah, so we did that, and that was in collaboration. Chief Perko gave us an ambulance, and some of his EMTs participated, and also helped kind of coach the students through, getting somebody on the stretcher and doing all that, and then. Yeah, and we also, and then the ride along program is something, the students can ride along and get actual experience with a municipal EMS agency.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Sacks.
Thank you. Chief DeBurko, I had the pleasure of meeting you at the University Heights Police Day at the Walt a couple months ago. So you were very helpful and gave me some information. I just want to clarify for purposes tonight. So the information about directing students where to call when there's an emergency is in the handbook, right? What the students receive.
Yeah. They get an orientation when they get there. I mean, honestly, we prefer they call the 1234 number because that, we find out about it first and we're there. They're pretty close. We're closer, but I mean,
Right, that's what you,
obviously-
exactly what
Yeah.
you, like the same words that you told me. Okay,
Yeah, well,
thank you. And then, so basically they call in and you triage. You send it to Paladin, you're kind of an intermediary, and then it's quick, but it's, that's the setup.
yeah, Paladin is exclusively for fire alarms.
Mhm.
But with the EMS, with the central dispatch again, so if I'm a student, I hurt my leg, I'm at Shula Stadium, I call the 1234 number. Dispatcher at the offsite gets it and they, notify them and then they notify us and the sergeant says, okay, this isn't a, hair on fire emergency. This is something JCU EMS could be helpful with. They do, we don't have vehicle, we have a golf cart because they have a lot of stuff that they have to cart around, but they don't have an ambulance or anything like that. But then, we communicate with JCU EMS on the radio. It also works better that way just because we're more aware of their schedule than central dispatch is, like being students, they're not going to be there over Thanksgiving, unlike the fire department. So we kind of know when it's worthwhile to call them and not.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you clarifying.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you so much, Chief DeBurko and Mrs. Cole. Did you all have anything else you wanted to share, Mrs. Cole or Chief DeBurko? Or Dr.
Calls
Cole?
are limited to our campus, so.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
We'll get
Yeah,
Jason.
so it is limited to the JCU
Okay.
campus.
Wait, what's limited to the JCU campus?
Our JCU EMS.
Okay,
Sir,
okay,
1, 2, 3, 4 number.
okay, yeah,
So
thank you so
it's
much.
limited to our campus. Yes.
I understand
What about students that are in JCU owned the apartment buildings, that are technically not part of the campus? Are they also considered part of this?
So they can be dispatched through the 1, 2, 3, 4. However, we don't have a way to respond from a JCU EMS way to all the offsite. So the JCU EMS students are responsible for on campus when they're available
On the physical campus?
on the physical campus. Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay. Okay, all right. Well, did you all have anything else you wanted to share?
Don't think so.
Okay, thank you so much for taking your time out and coming. Oh, I thought, okay. Okay, so next I'm gonna ask for Mr. Roth you're representing Hasala. If you would come up and also provide an overview of your EMS services and operations for us, please.
Would you like to sit here and I'll move? Does it reach? Oh.
She should not be living on the table.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to the Safety Committee and the entire City Council, whoever's here, for giving us the opportunity to be here tonight and share a little bit about Hatzalah Cleveland. Truly appreciate making the time for this conversation. Special thank you to Councilwoman Marshall for coordinating the time that worked for everyone's schedules. I know we went back and forth a few times. So we really appreciate your efforts in making tonight possible. I also want to recognize several of the Hatzalah Cleveland board members who are here in the audience tonight, as well as the admin team. And thank you for your constant support. For those who I haven't met yet, my name is Lenny Roth. And in my free time, I'm the director of Hatzalah Cleveland. Very proudly a nearly 25-year resident of the city of University Heights. Next slide, please. So what is Hatzalah? Hatzalah is the word in Hebrew, which means rescue or relief. Hatzalah was founded in Williamsburg, New York. It was founded in the 1960s by Rabbi Herschel Weber. The organization was born from a tragic incident where Rabbi Weber personally witnessed a community member suffer a fatal medical emergency, and 911 was not able to get there for 45 minutes. This event inspired him to create a community-based volunteer EMS to ensure that neighbors could provide immediate life-saving intervention. The goal was to provide rapid, culturally sensitive care from within the community working closely with and supporting the city's official emergency services. Next slide. From this one small city, one individual, this rapidly expanded, and we are right now in 2025 in 13 states, hundreds of neighborhoods, and dozens of cities in the United States. We have branches in Canada, South America, Central America, Mexico. In South America, we're soon to be opening Uruguay in 2026. Next slide. Rest of the world, we are literally on 6 out of 7 continents. We have branches from Australia to Ukraine, from Russia to South Africa, with over 10,000 members globally, and we respond to over 1 million calls a year. Next slide. We also have an aviation division. The aviation division operates 2 Learjets, 1 Gulfstream, and 1 Augusta helicopter in the United States. They also have an additional 4 aircraft on order slated to begin delivery in 2026. In Israel, they have 5 Sikorsky helicopters. Combined, they run an average of 1,800 transports to 68 different medical destinations globally, free of charge. Next slide. September 11th, 2001, that dreadful day, members of Hatzalah, New York, primarily from the Lower East Side, Williamsburg, Borough Park, and Flatbush divisions, were among the very first emergency responders to reach the scene after the first plane hit the North Tower at 8:46 a.m. Many rushed in without waiting for formal dispatch, driven by an instinct and their deep sense of duty to help. At Ground Zero, Hatzalah EMTs and medics set up triage areas and began treating the wounded near the towers. When the towers collapsed, Hatzalah lost a lot of equipment. Thankfully, no responders. Despite the danger, Hatzalah regrouped after the towers collapsed and continued to operate throughout the chaos, helping to evacuate victims and supporting other emergency personnel. In the days that follow, Hatzalah continued to have a presence at Ground Zero, providing medical support and rescue to the recovery workers, and the operations extended around the clock. They had shifts going 24 hours a day. They had members and volunteers coming from all across the United States and internationally to assist the New York division. But this is not the only place Hatzalah responds to. 2005, Hurricane Katrina, the Haiti earthquake in 2010, Hurricane Sandy in 2012, the Philippines typhoon Haiyan in 2013, the Nepal earthquake 2015, Surfside building collapse 2021, and 2 earthquakes in 2023, Turkey and Morocco. Next slide. Hatzalah goes when we are called, and we drop everything we do to respond to the call of help. Hatzalah Cleveland is an authorized affiliate of Central Hatzalah, which is New York. Since January 2025, we have covered portions of Beechwood, Cleveland Heights, University Heights, Lyndhurst, Shaker Heights, and South Euclid. Hatzalah Cleveland is a 501c3 nonprofit, all volunteer emergency medical service whose primary day-to-day mission is the rapid, culturally sensitive, free care to the sick and injured within our geographical service areas, regardless of race, gender, religion, or sexual orientation, and to provide seamless handoff of care to augment the mandated emergency response agencies for the best possible patient outcome. Next slide. What do we respond to? So we respond to medical emergencies such as cardiac arrest, chest pain, stroke, difficulty breathing, asthma attacks, diabetic emergencies, seizures, unconscious or unresponsive patients, OBGYN, pediatric emergencies, etc. Major and minor trauma, falls, fractures, head injuries, industrial and workplace accidents, sports injuries, home injuries, pedestrian strikes. And we also train for mass casualty incidents in order to coordinate a response with local EMS. Next slide. I think you're too far. Okay. Beyond emergencies, Hatzalah often helps with elderly assistance, welfare checks, community standby for large events. And I want to stress this, Hatzalah isn't just an EMS agency that happens to be Jewish. It's an organization built around the values, traditions, and sensitivities of the communities it serves, while still maintaining at the highest professional, medical, and ethical standards. About sensitivities, Jewish tradition and Jewish law holds very high priority for respecting our elders. Just want to bring one anecdote that happened just recently at a call that we responded to. So we responded to a call, an elderly patient who had soiled himself and needed to get transported to the hospital. It was not non-emergent, so it wasn't that he had to be going right this moment. He was going as soon as they were going to pack up his bag. But 911 had already been called. Now, this elderly patient had soiled himself, as I mentioned, and it was beneath the dignity to let him go to the hospital sitting in his soiled clothing and wait until a nurse or a nurse's aide went and changed him. Our responders, without being asked, without being told, went and cleaned up the patient. So like this, when he went to the hospital, he wouldn't be embarrassed and he would have his dignity. Hatzalah responders are members of the very community we serve. We speak the same language. We understand the local customs and often know personally the patients that are being transported or we're responding to. Our responders often speak multiple language. I myself speak Yiddish, Hebrew, English. Some speak Russian, some speak French, Spanish. This allows Hatzalah to serve linguistically diverse communities without misunderstanding and hesitation during emergencies. This familiarity builds immediate trust, especially in close-knit or religious communities where cultural barriers sometimes make people hesitant to call 911 or interact with outsiders. For example, in Jewish neighborhoods, families are often more comfortable calling Hatzalah because they know the responders will respect Jewish law. They'll respect tzniut. Tzniut is the Hebrew word which means modesty and the rhythms of religious life. Wanted to share another anecdote about what it means, the sense of trust that the community has in us. We responded to a call a couple of months ago about 3:30 a.m. for a pediatric emergency. The child unfortunately had to be transported to the hospital, and it was in the best interest of the child that both of the parents were there. That presented a problem because the parents had other children at home. At 3:30 in the morning, it's a little difficult to find a babysitter. Well, without being asked, our volunteers automatically responded, "We'll babysit, you go to the hospital. Don't worry about it. And when you find a babysitter in the morning, you'll let us know, you give us a call, and we'll take care of it." The parents woke up their children, let them know what was going on, told them the Hatzalah guys are here, don't worry about it, and left to the hospital. Children went back to sleep. Our guys were there until 8 o'clock, until somebody was able to come relieve them from their duties. But this is the type of implicit trust the community has in us that they wouldn't necessarily have in other people. The community knows us. They trust us, and therefore they are expecting this type of response. Hatzalah integrates Jewish law seamlessly into our emergency operations, always with saving life as the highest principle. Responders operate 24/7, including on Saturday and holidays, Shabbat and holidays, because saving life overrides nearly all other commandments. However, actions are done in a mindful way that respects Jewish law whenever possible. For example, minimizing unnecessary work on Shabbat once life safety is assured. So once we go to the call and the patient is okay, now we have to do things a little bit differently. Where until now we were able to do everything without restriction, now we have to be mindful of some of the restrictions that we do have because no longer is a life at stake. Sensitive situations such as end-of-life care, handling of deceased persons, Hatzalah ensures actions are aligned with both medical ethics and Jewish law. I mentioned this briefly earlier, although I want to make it clear. Though rooted in Jewish communities, Hatzalah responds to anyone in need, regardless of religion, background, or language. Around the globe, Hatzalah has and continues to treat patients from every ethnic and faith group imaginable: Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, secular, immigrant, and more. As a matter of fact, our first couple of calls here in Northeast Ohio were for non-Jewish patients, and we responded the same as we would with Jewish patients. Hatzalah often acts as a cultural bridge between the Jewish community and the city or national emergency services. In many areas, Hatzalah coordinates closely with municipal EMS, hospitals, law enforcement, educating them about the cultural practices such as the Sabbath observances, the holidays, modesty concerns, dietary restrictions to improve cooperation and patient outcome. This is a partnership for what we're here for. Next slide, please. Our volunteers come from all walks of life. They're dentists, restaurant owners, nurses, PAs, lawyers, salespeople, teachers, religious teachers, and more. Every single one of them balances a full-time career and family life, yet drops everything in an instant to respond to emergencies and help save lives. Next slide. Our very first EMT training class was conducted in partnership with University Hospitals, who immediately recognized the tremendous value that Hatzalah Cleveland brings to the communities we serve. The program was an outstanding success, with our entire class achieving a 100% pass rate. And University Hospitals was so impressed with our dedication that they graciously covered the full cost of the course. Both University Hospitals and Cleveland Clinic have since continued to demonstrate remarkable support for Hatzalah Cleveland, recognizing how community-based emergency response enhances public safety and strengthens the cities we serve. These two world-class medical institutions have stepped up in countless ways, including training, collaboration, and shared commitment to saving lives. Next slide, please. Hatzalah volunteers undergo extensive training and operate under the same Northeast Ohio regional EMS protocols as other emergency medical services, ensuring the highest level of clinical care. In addition, they follow halachic protocols, which is Jewish law, providing life-saving care in a way that respects and upholds religious values. Training includes response simulations, emergency vehicle operator courses, ambulance ride-alongs, hospital rotations, giving our volunteers hands-on experience in real-world emergency scenarios. The combination of medical excellence, practical preparedness, and spiritual sensitivity defines Hatzalah's unique approach to emergency response. Our medical director is Dr. Jay Bernstein. Dr. Jay Bernstein is a board-certified emergency physician and vice chair of medical education at Wright State University Boonshoft School of Medicine. He also serves as medical director for Lynx EMS across Ohio. With over 25 years of experience in emergency medicine, academic leadership, and EMS oversight, Dr. Bernstein combines deep clinical expertise with a strong commitment to community service and education. He's a retired major in the U.S. Army National Guard, a published researcher, and he brings distinguished record of leadership and public health to our organization. Hatzalah responders are equipped with state-of-the-art life-saving tools to handle a wide range of emergencies. Each responder carries a comprehensive trauma supply kit, burn care materials, OB kits for childbirth and maternal emergencies. Responders also carry oxygen delivery systems, defibrillators, and radios for rapid communication and coordination. In addition, our responders utilize an EPCR, which means an electronic patient care reporting. So we carry tablets to ensure accurate, efficient, and HIPAA-compliant documentation of every call. The software that we're using is the same exact software that University Heights currently uses. And from what I understand, it's being run through University Hospitals. University Hospitals said that towards the end of this year, we should have interoperability, that when we have vitals, we're able to send the vitals and send it off to University Heights Fire when they come to a call. So like this, they don't have to take the information again. Next slide. So how does it work? How does our agency work? So when a call comes into Hatzalah, the first dispatcher immediately gathers the caller's address, phone number, and nature of emergency. Typically, he's on the phone for between 30 and 45 seconds. We want them off the phone by that number, 45 seconds, they have to be off the phone. While he's on the phone, he's entering all this information into a computer-aided dispatch system. At the same time, a second dispatcher is logged into our computer-aided dispatch system, watching the information populate in real time, and then automatically starting the initiation of ALS by calling 911, whether it's Chagrin Valley Dispatch, Beechwood Dispatch, Lyndhurst Dispatch, etc. The first dispatcher then goes and simultaneously alerts the 3 nearest volunteer units to respond. Working in tandem, both dispatchers ensure that help is on the way within moments. Really, it's within seconds, because our average response time is 90 seconds from the time we are dispatched. We work quickly, efficiently, and seamlessly because we are coordinated. Next slide, please. Hatzalah Cleveland places a strong emphasis on ongoing education and skill development. Our volunteers participate in a robust training program that includes in-person classes, online courses for continuing education credits, frequent mock calls designed to sharpen real-world response skills, specialized drills such as water safety, mass casualty incident training. We were trained at Hopkins Airport as part of their mass casualty incident response team to ensure readiness for a wide range of emergencies. Next slide, please. Our medical director gives classes along with regular quality assurance and quality improvement sessions and detailed run reviews. All that fosters a culture of constant improvement. Our volunteers gain valuable hands-on experience with monthly quotas that they are required to do with ride-alongs in the city of East Cleveland and Cleveland Clinic's medical emergency response team. Next slide. As noted earlier, we do participate in community events as medical standby, and we're actually one of the medical standby teams at the NFL Brown games. Next slide. At Hatzalah Cleveland, membership extends far beyond the individual responder. It embraces the entire family. When someone joins Hatzalah, their spouse and children become part of the mission too. They become part of the Hatzalah family. Our junior Hatzalah members, which you can see on the board there, can often be found volunteering as mock patients during drills, helping restock supplies, organizing the stock room, and even running fundraisers to support Hatzalah's life-saving efforts. It's this unique spirit of family involvement that makes Hatzalah Cleveland unique, where dedication, compassion, and community service are shared values passed from one generation to the next. But aside, go back, not done yet. But aside from that, I uploaded a single new picture today. That picture. Today at one of the community schools. The school is learning one of the Hebrew letters of the alphabet, the Hebrew letter that starts the word Hatzalah. They called in 2 members of Hatzalah, one who has a son in the class and one who has a granddaughter in the class who happens to be in our audience here tonight. In order to, what I want to try to explain is that Hatzalah isn't just an organization that community members rely on. It's an organization that community members live with. This is an organization that they impart to their kids. Look, these are the Hatzalah heroes. These are the guys that are here to help at 24 hours a day, to drop whatever they're doing, whether it's their full-time jobs, they're middle of giving dinner, or sitting with their wife on a date night. They'll drop whatever they're doing in order to go on a call. Next slide. Hatzalah in numbers. So we have 30 responders across 4 neighborhoods. We have 10 dispatchers, 20 more in training. We have responded to over 300 calls in the approximately 10 months that we're in operation. And we've had during this period of time over 1,500 mock call scenarios that we run with our team. Next slide, please. Hatzalah Cleveland is committed not only to emergency response, but also to prevention through education. Our Community Safety Education Initiative distributes vital safety information, resources throughout the year tailored to the unique needs of our community. Educational materials and digital campaigns are released in advance of key times. One such key time is coming up in a couple of weeks. It's the holiday of Hanukkah. Hanukkah, we light candles, we have fires. So we're going to have a fire safety informational release. We just had Change Your Clocks, Change Your Battery initiative. We had guidance on preventing carbon monoxide poisoning during long holiday cooking hours. I think some of the firefighters came to a call and they couldn't believe that we keep stoves on for 2 days straight. So seasonal awareness campaigns, we focus on topics like summer water safety or winter weather preparedness. And by proactively sharing these materials, Hatzalah Cleveland helps families stay informed, prepared, and safe long before an emergency ever occurs. In addition to education, we take a hands-on approach. Now, we've done 2 things this summer, which shows that. First, this summer, we launched a successful campaign facilitating the installation of child backseat safety sensors in dozens upon dozens and dozens and dozens of vehicles, helping to prevent tragic heat-related incidents. Next slide, please. In addition, in our part of our mission to strengthen community education and safety, Hatzalah Cleveland hosted its first large-scale community safety fair. It drew over 700 attendees. The event featured dozens of interactive booths, each focused on a different aspect of safety, from bicycle helmet fitting to installing a car seat correctly, CPR training, Heimlich maneuver training, fire safety to electrical awareness, emergency response demonstrations. In addition, of the 700 attendees, approximately a quarter of them, over 200 attendees, were trained in CPR during this event. This fair brought together an incredible network of safety-minded partners, including Akron Children's Hospital, Cleveland Clinic, University Hospitals, Beechwood Fire Department, the Illuminating Company, Transit Police, and many other health and safety organizations. The result was an engaging, family-friendly day of learning, empowerment, community connection, turning safety awareness into hands-on preparedness. Mrs. Haft, who was very instrumental in making this safety fair happen, is actually here tonight. Next slide, please. The Hatzalah model of rapid community-based emergency response continues to gain recognition and adoption across the country and around the world. Once known primarily as a faith-based initiative, this model has proven so effective that it's now embraced by other cities. Jersey City, New Jersey, Denver, Colorado, all have citizen emergency responders that respond through an app. National EMS publications included features in GEMS magazine and other industry outlets that have highlighted Hatzalah's efficiency, innovation, and commitment to life-saving care. What began as a grassroots effort by one individual in one small community in New York has become an inspiring model for volunteer emergency response globally. Next slide. Hatzalah Cleveland operates as a fully volunteer, donor-funded organization sustained entirely by the generosity and partnership of the community we serve. Every aspect of our operation, from responders to dispatchers to administrative staff to leadership to accountants and even our graphic designers, is completely volunteer-based. No one at Hatzalah Cleveland receives a single penny as a salary. We do not take a salary. Everything is free. Our funding comes solely from individual donations, community fundraising events, corporate sponsorships, and grants. Every dollar raised goes directly towards life-saving resources, medical equipment, training, community safety programs, ensuring that support we receive translates directly into impact where it matters most. That's the end of my presentation. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Roth.
You're welcome.
I have a question. You said that you are trained with University Hospital,
Yes, we trained at University Hospital.
and how long is that program?
So that program was approximately 160 or 180 hour course. Plus there was 24-hour ride along time with ambulances and 24-hour hospital rotations. In addition to all the didactic portion, which was thousands, I don't want to say thousands, but hundreds and hundreds of hours. Effectively, it turns out to be, it took us almost 6 months to finish the course, due in part because we had Jewish holidays in between, so we had to take breaks in the middle.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And when you make calls, when calls come to you, through to you all, did you say that you contact 911 immediately?
So we have a two dispatcher model. So one dispatcher is on the phone with the caller and entering information in our computer-aided dispatch program. Simultaneously, the second dispatcher is logged into our computer-aided dispatch program, seeing in real time the information being entered into the program. As soon as he sees that information, 911 is called, typically within 30 to 45 seconds of us receiving the call ourselves.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have any questions they would like to ask Mr. Roth? Mrs. Weiser, Ms.
Yeah,
Weiser, yeah.
I have a couple.
Sure.
It's fascinating because we really didn't have a lot of information, or at least I didn't, as to the extent. It's my understanding in areas where Hatzalah actually began, it was that there was a delay in response. And yet in University Heights, we have a short amount of time for response. Does that seem to cause a problem, at least to you?
The response time in University Heights is fantastic. It's excellent. It's the top 5% in the entire United States. We are not about response times. The organization is about cultural sensitivities. We are also embedded in the community, meaning that we're in the synagogues, we're in the schools, we're next door neighbors. There have been times that, 911 was called prior to Hatzalah, and we're still at the scene in seconds because we're neighbors, because they come knocking on our doors. There was a situation. There was a call that we were called to a couple of months back where a child had cut himself with a knife. They were fooling around and they cut themselves with a knife. One of the children that were playing were right outside the home of one of our responders. He just walked over to the door, knocked on the door and said, "Hey, we have somebody that got hurt." They're on scene right there. They're in the neighborhoods.
Second question, and you talked about the cultural and the religious sensitivities. And I recognize that, I'm Catholic. We have a wide range of Catholics. Within Judaism, there's a wide range of Jews. Have you run into any problems where people would call Hatzalah and not want to call 911? And if you did, how do you deal with that?
So I think the opposite was true by us, is that at least currently now,
Okay.
because we activate 911 immediately after every single call, no matter how small, it's a cut or it's a cardiac arrest, we're activating 911. That has definitely slowed down the calls to our emergency line. Prior to that, I would say, yes, we have had people that would more likely call Hatzalah than 911, reasons that I mentioned in the presentation. But I think at this particular juncture, our call volume has slowed down, and I think that's because people don't want that full response.
Okay, that isn't what I was trying to get at. I mean, I recognize that within the range of religious views, there are some Jews that would prefer to have Jews treat them. And by preference and strong religious preference, I certainly can respect that. But I wondered if you encounter something like that, how do you bridge that in terms of getting people to realize that it's life-saving sometimes, that there are sometimes things that are beyond your volunteers' ability to address?
Oh, absolutely. So two anecdotes I want to respond to that. So number one, that has happened. We had a patient that we were called in out not in University Heights. That patient had stage 4 cancer, and he really needed to go to the hospital. He refused. His family was begging him to go to the hospital. They called us. We activated 911. 911 came. And again, he refused to go to the hospital. And we told him, I'm telling you, like our guys on scene told him, I'm telling you, you need to go to the hospital. If you don't go, you're not going to have a good outcome. And he listened. And FD on scene said that was the first time they've ever seen him go to the hospital willingly, because we were there to instruct them that he should go. On another note, in other cities where Hatzalah has had ride-alongs with certain city ambulances, and they get to know the guys from FD. Lots of times when the FD would respond to a call that Hatzalah is called at, and the patients are a little hesitant to let somebody else or a non-Hatzalah member treat them, our Hatzalah members have stepped up and said, "Hey, I know this guy. We've rode together. He's a good guy. You can trust him." And they allow them to be treated.
So you're able to do that kind
Correct.
of transition.
Yeah.
One other thing, are there only males that are actually trained for EMTs? I'm just curious.
There are only males that are trained for EMTs, but there are plenty of women that are part of our organization, from dispatchers to administrative. The reason why we have male responders only is not because of responder to patient contact. It's more of responder to responder contact. In Jewish law, at least in religious Jewish law, there's this term that I used earlier, which is called tzniut, which is modesty. But tzniut encompasses a lot more than just modesty. So being secluded with someone that isn't your wife is not just frowned upon, it's not done. When we respond to calls, say late at night, or you're working a scene in a confined space, things can get a little uncomfortable very, very quick. And in order to prevent things like that, the Rabbinical Advisory Board throughout all of Hatzalas only allows male responders. But there have been in recent years new development where you do have women responders responding specifically for women related issues, OBGYN calls, childbirths. And they have Orthodox Jewish Women's Corps called Ezrat Nashim, which is Helpful Ladies, which does respond to calls for people that want that type of service.
Thank you. I appreciate your willingness to go through that. I think part of, I'm very grateful that Councilwoman Marshall set this up as informational, because I think there's also an education piece that needs to happen to the community at large. Because Hatzalah primarily works in one area of the city. And that means that with education on both ends, we all can understand things a whole lot better. And I think that's important. One other thing, your fairs, you mentioned a fair. When you do these, do you only advertise them within the Jewish community, or do you advertise them more broadly?
So we've advertised it, I would say, I don't want to say exclusively in the Jewish community, but I will tell you is that we advertised it in the Jewish publications. They were in the Jewish stores. I think it was posted on our Facebook page, but it wasn't specifically just for Jews. We made it in a hall that would be able to accommodate anyone that would, and they wouldn't feel uncomfortable about showing up.
That's great, because you mentioned you did some CPR training as a part of that. And I think that's an important piece, and a lot of people really don't get exposed or don't have time for when CPR classes might be offered. That's always a good thing.
I could give you, some feedback we received from Beechwood Fire. Beechwood Fire actually, the event was held in Beechwood, in the city of Beechwood. So they were at the event, and the assistant chief of that, who was there, was shocked beyond belief at the amount of people that came through. They ran out of the firefighter helmets that they gave out within the first half hour or 45 minutes. They were expecting maybe 100 people to come through, not 700.
I appreciate all your answers. Thank you very much.
No, pleasure.
Okay. I had another question. Do you all provide transport? Do you transport patients?
No, we do not transport patients. We defer the transport to University Heights Fire.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mrs. Sachs?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Councilwoman Marshall, for bringing these presentations. Thank you very much for your presentation. I really had no idea how comprehensive Hatzalah was. Thank goodness that, I haven't had to call anybody. So, but thank you. I find it fascinating that John Carroll University and Hatzalah, they're analogous in a couple of ways, where they are embedded within their communities, the campus, wherever Hatzalah is with respect to cultural sensitivity, and they're both non-transport medical assistance. So I find that we're very lucky in this community to have those additional resources. A question about, to piggyback on Councilwoman Weiser's question about events, the more they are publicized, the larger the gathering, do you also coordinate with security? Unfortunately, in this day and age, a highly publicized Jewish event calls for significant security. So I'm just wondering how you coordinate that. Thank you.
No problem. Sure. So we coordinated with the Federation Security. We had them on staff. They were there. I think there's a fee that we had to pay to have them on site, but we also had Beechwood Police. We had Transit Police that were there. But we made sure that we had security.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have any questions? Mr. Cooney?
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. What is the number that somebody would call for Hatsala?
Number for Hatala is 216-888-1818.
All right, thank you. And where's the dispatch? When they receive the call, where are they?
Dispatchers are all over the United States. You actually have two of them in this room right now.
So are they, they call that 216 number, does it go to are they in the Cleveland metro area?
Local.
Some are local, some are not.
So not every call, it stays within, I'll say Cuyahoga County, that person could be outside the
Yeah,
city?
the dispatchers can be anywhere in the United States. Today with, internet connectivity, and fiber optic, you don't have to be here.
Okay. And I want to make sure I understood correctly that when the call comes in, the dispatch receives it, and there's somebody working side by side with them, and they're contacting 911 at the same time.
Correct.
Did I understand that correctly?
So because we have a team of 10 dispatchers, so you can have one dispatcher here in Ohio that would answer the call and speaking to the caller. You have a second dispatcher in LA who's already logged into the system. The phone rings on all our phones. So as soon as the phone call comes in, we're already primed. My cell phone, when my phone rings, I have the automatic routines that you're able to put on phones today, that it automatically brings up the CAD program. The CAD program automatically loads with the latest call. So there is zero delay from dispatcher 1 when he's answering the call to dispatcher 2 jumping onto the CAD program. It happens simultaneously.
The CAB program, that's dispatcher 2, they're the one that's contacting the
The CAD program is,
local 911.
so the CAD program is an online, it's an online software or online webpage that has the caller information, shows the map of where the caller is, street, the nature of the call. And once we have that information, we're contacting 911. At the same time, as soon as we add a member to the call, that member receives a text message with a Waze link or a Google Maps link that takes them directly to the house. So there's zero time wasted. Everything is done concurrently. And we have, like I said, there's multiple backups. There could be times that one of the dispatchers who started dispatching doesn't have good service. There's somebody else that's always backed up and can jump in.
Okay,
at
so
any time.
Ms. Weiser pointed out, University Heights is not exactly a large city. So you'd have Hatsala and University Heights Fire Department, as an example, arriving at the scene approximately at the same time for every call that comes into Hatsala.
Every call that comes into Hatsala, yeah, Hatsala and University Heights Fire arrive on the scene. I think typically we're there fairly quickly because we're embedded. Within a couple of minutes, University Heights Fire is there. As soon as they come on the scene, there's a transfer of care and we go off to the side.
Right, so that's been for every call since Hatsala's been operating within University Heights.
Correct.
Right, so they essentially, Hatsala probably arrives 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes prior to University Heights Fire Department.
Yeah.
So almost simultaneously. And that's been every call since, how long has Hatsala been at University Heights?
Hatsala has been in University Heights since January of 2025, but let me rephrase that. We've been there sometimes 30 seconds before, sometimes 2 or 3 minutes before.
But it's not,
not,
yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
no,
to
it's not,
interrupt.
it's not always us. We don't always simultaneously arrive on scene. If we do, we defer to the fire department.
Okay, so it's not as if Hatsala would arrive and then 2 hours later, University Heights would arrive because
no.
they're getting a call, right? It's
No.
they're pretty close.
No.
Correct. All right, that's been that way basically since throughout 2025.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, thank you.
you're welcome.
I had another question, but I forgot. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead, Mr. Cooney.
Thank you. John Carroll was able to describe some collaboration between the university and University Heights Fire Department. Can you describe Hatsala, but some of the collaboration that's occurred with them?
I think you should refer your question to the chief.
I'm asking you. John
I-
Carroll was able
I-
to provide an answer. I'm asking you.
Sure. We're open to collaboration.
Have you been-
The university hospitals, when we first taking the course, sent a request to University Heights Fire for ride-alongs. That request wasn't honored.
Okay.
Can I respond to that?
See him. Yeah, go ahead.
A couple comments to that. Regarding the collaboration, we have taken multiple meetings, not only myself, but other chiefs of other fire agencies to meet with the representatives Hatsala and talk about their services and their collaboration. The city administration here has provided a memorandum of understanding to memorialize those collaborations, to include ride time, to include doing training drills and sharing information back and forth. We have been unsuccessful in meeting to discuss how to get past that MOU, which is what brought forth the discussion of the ordinance to permit the non-governmental ambulances.
Okay, so not to interrupt you, but the agenda, we're not gonna be talking about the MOU today or the ordinance today. So those two items are not on the agenda. This was an information.
Why are you gagging our fire chief?
I'm not gagging him. I'm
Yeah,
just.
yes, you are. You interrupted him.
First of all, I didn't even call on you, so
Yeah.
that you don't have the floor right now.
Chief has.
I'm just saying
You
that,
should let,
I had the-
let the chief
I'm
explain.
just making it clear that we're not gonna be discussing the MOU or the ordinance today.
Yeah, Ms. Marshall, I asked about
I
collaboration.
heard what you
The
asked.
gentleman asked, so why don't you ask Chief Perko when he's providing an answer?
Okay, I heard you, and I'm very educated and I can hear very well. But go ahead, Chief Parker, as long as we just had that understanding.
Okay, well, I was confused because the agenda that I have that was posted does say discussion of the ordinance.
Yeah, but it doesn't,
They
the,
changed it.
it was changed and it says JCU and Hostile Informational Session. That's the proper agenda that was provided.
I see. To the question about the ride time with university hospitals, that is an engagement agreement that has to be executed between our city and their agency. Their legal department of university hospitals was unwilling to provide us the feedback we needed to execute that until well after your EMT class was finished and completed. So therefore, we did not have any student riders from any of the university hospitals programs for well over a year beyond that time frame surrounding around when your team went through that training. We did try to execute that. It is now executed, but that was not in place because we were waiting on university hospitals.
Thank you, Chief Parker. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Roth, for taking the time out and coming out and sharing the presentation with us and all of the information regarding Hasala. We appreciate it.
Thank you for facilitating.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'd like to thank the representatives from John Carroll, Chief DeBarco,
Dabrico.
my apologies, Chief Dabrico, because he never corrected me earlier. And Dr. Cole and Mrs. Tremmel, and from Hasala, Mr. Ross. Thank you all for coming out for this informational session. I appreciate you taking the time out. The information was very helpful. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that emotion.
Oh, wait a
Motion.
minute. Nope, not yet. Chief Parko.
I just have a question. Since the ordinance was removed after being tabled to this committee, will that be revisited?
as soon as I have some information regarding that, I will make sure it comes out to everyone.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So motion,
Yes, thank you. What, could you describe the information that you're looking for?
nope. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Thank you.
What a
Motion to meet
disgrace.
adjourn.
Disgrace.